Happy Camper Radio starts in 3, 2, 1. Anytime you hear that music, you know it's time to break out the camping gear. You know it's time to make your plans. You know it's time to hit the road. And it's time for the Happy Camper Radio Show. We are back in the studio again, and guess who is back from vacation? Hello, Daniel.
Hey, if I hit the road, I would hurt my hand. It hurts my hand when I hit the road.
Well, you didn't hit the road. You hit the skies last week.
I did. It's a lot softer.
And you're the first person I ever saw come back from a long cross-country trip and didn't have jet lag. You were so happy to come home.
It's funny.
We had your dog for an entire week.
You
here.
did. It's funny you say that because every time we were out there, we were out in Vegas. Every time we were out there, it'd be like 12 o'clock there, and we'd be like, it's 3 o'clock in Atlanta. And now that we're back here, and it's like 12 o'clock here, we're like, it's like 9 o'clock there.
So where would you rather be?
There. Oh, God, there. That was the best.
You really had a lot of fun.
Oh, man. No humidity. It's the greatest.
Well, you weren't about to walk in the studio today and take advantage of the last few minutes of your vacation because I think you go back to work Thursday, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So when you wandered in the studio, the missus followed you.
I know.
And
I can't shake her off.
Where did you put her?
I put her in the booth.
In the sound booth.
In the booth of justice.
Wow. Okay. And
I don't know.
She is joining us today.
Hello.
She is not seen. She is heard, though. Deidre, how are you
Sometimes
today?
that's the best. I'm doing just fine.
I wouldn't say that, and I don't think he could get away with saying that.
I can get away with a lot.
Sometimes.
But, hey, we've got a lot to talk about today, and I'm really interested in hearing about your vacation that you took out in Las Vegas and the many sights and sounds that you took advantage of while you were there. And we're going to get into that on today's show. Our phone number here at Happy Camper Radio is 404-537-2267. That's 404-537-CAMP. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker, add us to circles on Google+, and now subscribe to our YouTube channel. So many ways to connect up with us. Go to www.happycamperradio.com and make sure you click on the icons anywhere on the right-hand side of the page. That's where our social media icons are located. And click on any one of them, you'll connect up with us. We have got some newcomers to the show that we are going to welcome, so let's very conveniently head over to the shout-out window right now. And let's say hello to A&L RV Sales in Johnson City, Tennessee. They like us on Facebook. Darren Kavanoski of Los Angeles, California, Steve Hoosier, EC in the northwestern U.S., Rachel Redwell in Los Angeles, California, Brian Brushwood in Austin, Texas.
Whoa. Hold on.
They're following us on Twitter.
Skip.
Yeah.
We know Brian Brushwood.
Do you?
We listen to his show.
Okay.
I
feel like a celebrity right now.
I feel like a celebrity.
Hey, are we talking about the same Brian Brushwood? Is he from Austin, Texas?
He is from Austin, Texas.
Well, Brian, hey, welcome. Glad to have you on board.
Wow.
Okay, isn't that something?
That is crazy.
I didn't know that. What kind of a show does he do?
Well, he does a show on YouTube. It's called Scam School, and then he does like Weird Things, which is our favorite show. And then he does another show called what is it called? Diamond Club. And that's really funny.
Sounds interesting. If he's a camper, maybe we can get him on our show.
Well, he lives in Austin. Yeah, I would totally be down for that.
Let's say hello to Eric Dunphy, the fine folks over at Lucor.net, and finally to Michael Quaid. They are subscribing to us this week on YouTube. Thank you, each and every one of you. Glad to have you on board. And thank you for being a part of this great Happy Camper Radio family. Would you like to be a guest on the show? Give me a shout, Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com, and we'll make that happen. All right, Daniel, I am usually one to get into your business every time that you plan a vacation and you're not taking your pop-up camper with you.
Yeah, okay.
This was no exception a week ago.
Right.
When you told me you were going to Las Vegas,
right.
I was saying to myself, wow, there's a lot of great camping grounds out there.
There was.
Yeah.
I admit it totally. I admit that. Well, not in Las Vegas, but in like the national parks and everything out on the outskirts.
And I understand for the sake of time and travel why you didn't want to take your pop-up camper, but there's no excuse for not putting a tent in your carry-on luggage. And
Here's what I was
along.
thinking.
It reached 107 one of the days we were out there.
Well, that sounds hot.
Here's what I say. This is what we talked about. Me and Deidre said, if we're going to go camping out there, we're renting a truck and we'll hook up our pop-up to our truck, our rental truck.
That is smart.
Because I think we drove just in our little tiny Chevy Spark that we rented out there. We drove over 2,000 miles just on that. So if we drove out there and then drove to all the stuff that we wanted to go to, I would say it would be over 5,000-6,000 miles that we'd put on a car.
And I think the experts will tell you also that if you're going to do that, it's probably wise for you to rent a vehicle and make sure it's in your rental agreement that you can tow something. In your case, it would be your pop-up camper. And this way, if something goes wrong, if something breaks down, it is the rental vehicle that breaks down, and you don't have to worry about those repairs. All those things are going to be recovered. It's going to be one of those things that you're just going to have a little downtime, and nobody wants downtime during their vacation. Nobody at all. All right.
Definitely not vehicle problems.
Like relaxation downtime is good because me and Deidre, we're go-go-goers, and this trip, we did a couple days of downtime. We could have done more, but we didn't want to kill ourselves out there.
Yeah, 3 days of driving over 2 to 3 hours just to get to national parks was quite enough.
All right. Well, anyway, Daniel, I was saying, if you're going to go somewhere, go camping, take your camping gear, take whatever, and you didn't do that. And I just said to myself this time, well, I'm throwing my hands up in the air because, talking to you is like talking to this picture on the wall here. But anyway, while you were gone, it did nothing but rain.
And it was nothing but sunny where we were.
Daniel, it was horrible.
I know.
And I saw. And here I am talking about this and thinking, no more than a week or so ago, we're talking about the devastating fires out west. Over here, we're talking about the devastating floods, and over in South Carolina, they've got it real bad right now.
I know. Me and Deidre, I was talking to her today. I was like, we need a pipeline from like the east to the west to like pump the water over there because they need it really bad, and we got too much of it.
I think we all need to be somewhere in between right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're finally getting a break from the weather. It's finally starting to clear up, and I may be able to get out there and mow grass, which I haven't done in 2 weeks. Nobody has. I haven't heard no lawnmowers running or anything like that here. But I've got leaves falling right now. Hey, it is fall.
It is.
We are now into the fall season. Summer 2015 is in the history books.
Unfortunately.
And while you were gone, where I got my first sense of the fall season is when I walked into the local grocery store here in Centerville, which is not very far from us. And it was on a Saturday morning. I just went up, and I can't remember what I was in there for, and I had to get. But I walked in, and there it was, the dried up corn stalks, the pumpkins, the bales of hay.
The cinnamon brooms.
All right, the cinnamon brooms. Hey, I love those. Yeah, in fact, I have one. I think the cinnamon odor is all gone from it.
Oh, no.
But I'm going to have to go get a new one. But yeah, that's the very first sense of the fall season that came upon me is last weekend when I walked into that grocery store. And that combined with the cool temperatures now that we didn't have during the summer, yes, fall is here. And it's one of my favorite times of the year to go camping. And I'm going to have to make sure that I get out and take a little bit more of the camping exercise in that I normally don't do during the summer.
Can I say something about that? I went to Walmart today. I saw Christmas stuff. It should be a federal law that you are not allowed to put Christmas stuff up until after Halloween. That should be a federal law. I don't care what anyone says.
Well,
this is ridiculous. It's not even my birthday yet, which is the 7th, by the way.
Well, I guess if that were a law, Daniel, I'd be the first to violate it because I like Christmas.
I know you
like Christmas. There are Christmas stores around here.
There are.
That run year-round.
Mr. Twinkle.
Go up to Helen.
But Halloween is awesome. It should have its due.
Right.
Well, I know Halloween is awesome, and I am so
gets no
looking
love.
forward to the pirate ship out in your front yard.
Oh, boy, we're going to have to put that up.
Yes, absolutely. You didn't do it last year. I don't think you did it a year before that either.
The pressure's on.
Okay. Well, hey, Daniel, while you were gone, I often thought about this would be a great time for a staycation.
Mm-hmm.
If you were home and I said, Daniel, go camping in your backyard.
Okay.
All right, I would have really been putting my foot in my mouth with the weather being like it was, because you can't camp in your backyard with the kind of rain we had all week long, and you definitely don't want to stay indoors.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to camp in your living room. You don't want to roll out your sleeping bag on your living room floor. You don't want to be watching that flat panel TV, which you so much dream of taking with you on any camping trip.
That's true.
Right? But you want to get out and you want to do something. Well, guess what I did this week?
What did you do?
And Daniel, to this moment, I am so excited.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the grand opening of the brand new Gander Mountain up on Highway 124 in Snellville.
Ooh.
Wow, we've got a Gander Mountain nearby. And we are one of their affiliates.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, if anybody wants to
plastic.
shop at Gander Mountain,
right,
and you don't have a Gander Mountain store near you, go to our homepage, www.happycamperradio.com, and click on the Gander Mountain banner. It'll take you right to their website, and you can do all your shopping right there from the convenience of your very own home. You can have all your merchandise shipped right to your doorstep. And keep in mind, too, any product that you purchase online, by going through our website, you're helping to support this great radio program. Now, when I went to the grand opening and I says, I'm going to go up there opening day, which I did, we were greeted to a free concert by country music artist Crystal Hopkins. And Daniel, guess what? I got her autograph. I had my picture taken with her, too.
Ooh, look at you.
Go to any one of our social media pages, and you'll see the picture right there. She is a sweet girl.
Yeah.
Had an opportunity to talk with her for a little bit. And no, I wasn't able to keep the plastic in the wallet as much as I tried.
I'm surprised you caught that.
Daniel, no, I'm done. I've got to quit. I've got to stop the spending. If I am not buying studio equipment, I'm buying camping equipment.
Hey.
But it's so irresistible.
It is.
You cannot go into a store like Gander Mountain with all those wonderful items and be around the environment that you're in with all of those people and standing there watching them buy all this camping equipment, and you sit there and say, no, I can't do it. I can't spend anymore. No.
Well, we did buy some hiking sticks when we were out west, and I'm telling you, hiking sticks are the best.
I had a talk with you about that.
Yeah, they're the best. The little 2 poles things, I used to make fun of them. I was like, oh my gosh, that's overkill.
I was making fun of you. I would have picked up a stick on the forest floor and I would have gone hiking.
I'm telling you right now, these are the best things to use when you are hiking. You can ask Gary. Next time we have Gary on, he'll tell you that these are the best things to have when you are hiking. That they will save you 1,000,000 times over. You ask him, because we're going to have him on pretty soon because his book's coming out. You can ask him how many times those sticks have saved his life, because your footing can get misplaced so many times, and those sticks are a lifesaver.
They
It's
really
amazing.
are. It helps distribute all of the hiking throughout your entire body. I have wonky knees now that I'm getting older, and I was able to hike much, much further than ever just because we ended up getting those.
How many miles did you take in?
I think we did about
at
3 or 4.
Yeah, at Zion we did about probably about 4 miles or so. Grand Canyon we hiked a little ways down, but we didn't get started hiking until a little later in the day because it was so far away. So we didn't hike quite as much there. Death Valley we walked all around as much as we could. But I don't know about how far that was. But I know Zion was about 4 miles.
And now you did send a picture that I posted on social media of a desert setting.
Yeah, the Death Valley
Death
campground.
The Death Valley campground. Now, there was a camper way off in the distance, and I didn't see any grass, which I could expect.
No.
All right.
There was a tent. I took a picture of a tent. I don't know if you could see it in the background, but it was under a bunch of trees. But another thing I want to say about these sticks, I don't know if you've ever been hiking a lot, but when you hike a lot, your hands get really big and swollen because all the blood flows to them and they get big and swollen. With these sticks, your hands don't get swollen.
I'm too old for that.
Okay.
No.
I'm just letting, it's not just you, Skip. It's everyone else in the world listening to this. Your hands get swollen a lot when you go, hiking and you've had like a lot of salty foods and stuff. Your hands get all
Hey,
big.
and speaking of sticks, And I'll tell you, there's a stick out there that I avoid at all cost. And I don't like these. And maybe I'm just not with the times. Maybe I'm just too old and too old-fashioned. But have you ever seen these selfie sticks, as they call them?
Oh, my God, they were everywhere. I forgot
Daniel.
mine. I forgot mine.
Daniel,
I feel so ashamed.
Do you have one of those?
I love selfie sticks. Love them.
Everywhere yesterday I went. And incidentally, I did go back to Gander Mountain.
Again?
Again. And you know why?
Uh-huh.
Because one of my favorite TV hosts were there. And I know you know this guy. I know you've watched the show.
Okay.
Swamp People.
Maybe. Is it on Netflix?
No, it's on the History Channel.
Oh, okay.
Do you know Troy? I'll give you a hint.
Uh-huh.
What's Troy's last name?
Troy, I have no idea. I've never seen it. I haven't even seen Duck Dynasty yet. I know. I'm behind on my redneck culture.
Daniel, you've got to go watch the History Channel. You got to watch Swamp People.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And you would love Troy.
Okay.
Okay. Troy is the guy that wrestles alligators.
Okay. Who wins?
Okay.
Well,
he's still doing the show.
Is it like professional wrestling where ref goes 1, 2, 3?
No.
Is that how,
No, Daniel.
So it's like Greco-Roman, like in high school, and like he gets on top, and like they say, "Okay, start," and then like he submits them.
No, Daniel.
Oh.
All right. Troy is the guy on Swamp People who wrestles alligators. Well, I'm not going to take that back. He captures alligators.
Oh.
He is a super guy. And Daniel, he was there signing autographs yesterday.
I know. I saw the picture.
Oh, did you? And
Yeah.
I've got it posted on social media. All right. Troy Landry.
Now, here's my question. Are you getting a picture with him, or is he getting a picture with the great Skip Huber? That's what I want to know. I mean, who is the
go to
celebrity
Facebook,
here?
go to our
Who is the
Daniel.
celebrity? I want to know. Did you give him an autograph, or did he give you an
No,
autograph?
he gave me the autograph. And Daniel,
I think it should be the other way around.
there was such a line there. And you know I don't like standing in lines, but
Right.
this was an exception.
Uh-huh.
All right. And I got up there and I got to talk with him for a couple minutes. Super, super nice guy.
Right.
And, of course, while I was at Gander Mountain again, I spent some more.
Oh, boy. What'd you get this
I bought
time?
2 brand new camp stoves.
Oh, wow.
You know those butane stoves that I rave about? Well, one of them bit the dust after
no.
about 15, 16 years.
Right.
And I had to chuck it in the trash can. I still have one, which I'm going to hold on to because it's still working fine.
Right.
But I bought 2 brand new ones.
All
and
right.
they were on sale. They were like $22.95 a piece. I got them for I got them for $17.99 a piece.
That's
I
pretty
picked
good.
two brand new ones. And no sooner did I leave there, I went up the street to the local Walmart store, and I think I bought about maybe 15 or 16 of the butane canisters.
Ooh, so you're full of gas is what you're telling me.
Hey, no, I'm full of butane.
Oh, okay, butane.
You're full of gas. All right.
Wow.
And hot air to boot.
Wow.
I'll agree with that.
Well,
No
hey,
love.
check out our social media pages, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, or not YouTube, but Google Plus, where you can catch some of the photographs that I posted online. Hey, and I've got another one which I've got to put online today. Daniel, in episode 111, and you weren't here, you were off running doing something. I did an episode on making pizza at camp.
Oh.
You ought to see, and I didn't know that they made such a thing.
Uh-huh.
They make a pizza oven that you can take to camp and place right on your grill.
Interesting.
And it looks like one of those pizza ovens in the pizza shop.
Okay.
Daniel, this thing goes for about $150.
Wow.
I don't have $150 right now, but I'm half tempted to go buy this thing to start making pizza at camp. And could you imagine if I had that set up at my campsite? I would be the main attraction.
I want to know how much Papa John's you could buy with $150. You know, how many years of Papa John's, like camping, you could buy? You could, like, have them deliver it to the woods, be like, the woods. I'm in the woods. You could call them up and be like, yeah, I want a Papa John's.
Well, Papa John's does make
woods.
very good pizza. I've got to give them that. But, Daniel, there's nothing like making your own right there from the campsite.
I've never had grilled pizza. That's interesting.
It sounds
I'm very
delicious.
impressed. We had a lot of interesting things in Vegas. Deidre went to a certain cupcake place, and they had
Sprinkles cupcakes.
and they had a certain way of delivering the cupcakes. How did they do that, Deidre?
I bought a cupcake at a cupcake ATM. I paid my money, and it came out of the slot. It was kind of fun.
Here's another way of looking at it, too. You two could run off to your local hot dog shop and buy hot dogs.
We did that.
All right? And with all the chili and all the trimmings and everything you put on top of it. You can do that down here at your local QT store and get them 2 for $2.
Right.
All right. But there's nothing like making your own at the campground and cooking them on the grill.
Yeah, we like them.
Hey,
we like them well done.
Think about these steaks that I bought here a few months back when we had a cookout on the back patio.
Yep.
All right. Michael come on over with
boy.
Deidre's sister.
Yeah.
I never knew he could cook so well.
Oh gosh, everyone.
Hey,
It's called
granted,
turning.
I went broke on the steaks, but he was able to cook those steaks to absolute perfection. I get accused of burning the food.
I love burning food.
I do too, to some extent.
Yeah.
Not everybody likes my cooking, but hey, when I cook it and I am satisfied with the way it is cooked and I enjoy eating it, well, what else matters? But hey, if you're cooking for somebody else, they are entitled to their opinion and their comments about how you prepare food. But those steaks were absolutely fantastic. Just like pizza. There's nothing like cooking your own pizza at camp, baking it or however you want to prepare it. But Daniel, this pizza oven was just totally awesome. I was just attracted to it like a magnet.
Uh-huh.
And I took a lot of great pictures while I was up there.
Okay.
And, definitely check them online. I'll be posting them periodically here on Facebook as well as on Google+. If you haven't already logged in and liked us on one of those particular social media sites, definitely do that so we can give you a shout out at the beginning of the program. So, Daniel, where else did you go while you were in Vegas? Hey, I heard you took a 4-hour trip to go somewhere to the Grand Canyon, was it?
Oh,
Four
yeah.
and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you do something like that? You're on vacation and you're
Okay.
going to travel?
I'm telling you right now, every state park we went to, I was like, why don't we have... National park, sorry. Every national park we went to, I was like, why don't we have a camper? Why don't we have this? Why don't we have that? And a lot of the people were renting RVs, which was, I thought, was pretty smart. But when we went to the Grand Canyon, they had so much. It was like Disney World with the shuttles and everything. It was amazing.
Yeah,
I thought it was amazing.
They've got their act together out there. They have so you don't have to drive around. They don't have to deal with as much wear and tear on the roads over at the parks. They actually have a free shuttle service that you can just hop on, and it'll take you to all the points where you would want to get out and look over the Grand Canyon because it's amazing. And you can get out, and they've got several different places that you can hike. But it was well worth the 4.5-hour drive out there.
I'm sitting here thinking 4.5 hours, and I'm envisioning driving from my home all the way down to Savannah, Georgia, and that is a long haul.
It was very long. That's why we didn't get to do quite as much hiking over there, because even though we left quite early in the morning, by the time we got over there, it was lunchtime. We had lunch, walked around, and even still, we ended up not leaving until probably about 6 o'clock, right before the sun was setting. But it was amazing. It was a very long drive, but it was worth it.
And I know you took a lot of pictures.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we
All
saw
right,
some, we
you're
saw some
gonna have
moose.
to share some of those.
We saw some moose.
Yes,
some deer.
Well,
Did you?
Yeah.
Well,
were just sitting there.
if you're
We
seeing
didn't
some
see
wild,
moose. We saw elk.
Oh, elk. Sorry.
hey, regardless, if you're seeing wildlife, that's part of the journey too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
being able to see wildlife anywhere I go.
Oh yeah, when we were at the Grand Canyon, when we were on the shuttle, we saw some elk. There was a big bull elk or whatever you call the male, and all of his ladies around, and he was kind of huffing and puffing because he wasn't liking how close all the cars were getting between him and his ladies. And then when we were at Zion walking around, we actually saw some mule deer right by the water. Like, they're used to people being around because, it's a national park. People are there all the time. And so we're doing our little hike, and there was a boy and a girl mule deer just hanging out on the side of the river, just eating and hanging out. We got a couple of pictures. The girl looked up and kind of posed for a second.
And she smiled at you.
Yep.
I hope nobody got out of their car and was stupid enough to walk on over to try to have their picture taken with them.
Some people got a little kind of close with the elk.
When we were at the Grand Canyon, we saw elk twice. We saw it when we were on the shuttle. That was the boy that was getting a little huffy and puffy. And then we had driven over to another point of the Grand Canyon before we left. And when we were getting out across the street, there were a couple of girl elk. And we were getting a couple of pictures from across the road, and one guy was starting to walk across the road to get closer, and I'm going...
With his selfie stick, probably.
No, wasn't
with
a
his cell
selfie
phone.
stick.
Yeah, with his cell phone.
I hate those things. I'm sorry.
Well,
They're the best.
They would have come in handy in a lot of
Yes.
places out there trying to get pictures with the background, because you weren't always guaranteed that there was somebody around that would take a picture, or that there were a lot of... There were a lot of foreigners there. Like, there were a lot of French people out there. And so there were a lot of people that didn't speak English. So sometimes you could go, hey, can you take a picture? And they knew what you were saying. But then we had one lady that we asked, and she said, hold on, and then never took our pictures.
Oh, my heavens.
I don't know if she really understood what I was asking her.
Well, it sounds like you both had a fantastic time, and it's good to have you back again. And I know you just got a few more days of rest before you go back to the grind.
Yep.
And start doing what you have to do on a daily basis. No fun in that.
Nope.
But, hey, my next vacation, it's coming up here very shortly.
Oh.
The end of November. I've got a few days off, and then my vacation starts in December. And I'm contemplating on a cold weather camping trip somewhere.
Ooh.
That's all you, Skip.
Hopefully I can make that happen. It's time now for our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Yep.
Okay, Daniel, we're going to go out west.
Woo!
Yeah.
Again?
All right. Yes,
All right.
yes, you are. Okay. This week, we are going to go to the state of Oregon to Sand Beach. This campground is open all the way through Saturday, April the 30th, 2016. So still plenty of time to plan it on your schedule. Sand Beach Campground is ideal for off-road vehicle lovers with year-round access to nearly 1,100 acres of coastal sand dunes. The campground is part of the Sand Lake Recreation Area and home of the Dune Playground. Daniel, this place, I'm looking at it right now, and you were talking about desert. All right, here I am looking what it appears to be a desert, but it's actually sand dunes. There's no grass growing. All right, so that could be considered desert as far as I'm concerned. The Sand Lake Recreation Area includes 1,076 acres of open sand dunes surrounded by forest adjacent to the Pacific Ocean. Now, parking aprons are the paved in that area. The campground perks include drinking water, flush toilets, campground rings, and off-road vehicle loading ramps. At the two adjacent campground, the East Dunes and the West Dunes, offer additional 58 campsites, which are non-reservable. So, in other words, I think what they're saying here is first come, first serve. There's a lot of activities and amenities right there, and check out some of the pictures. You'll find them all week long on our website. Go to happycamperradio.com and click on the featured campground tab. A couple things to know before you go. No RV hookups are available in this campground. All motorized vehicles on sand must adhere to the Oregon OHV regulations. Remember, don't move firewood. Purchase all your firewood locally. If you're traveling out west, if you're in the state of Oregon looking for a great place to go camping, and if you have an RV or one of those four-wheelers, whatever you want to call them, I would never get on one, but some people do. Consider Sand Beach in the state of Oregon. It is our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show. And as always, if you have a campground that you would like for us to feature on the program, definitely get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com, and make sure you include a link to the campground website. Well, Daniel and Deidre, glad to have you back. Daniel, I think it's time to let her out of the booth. I hope she's not getting claustrophobic in there.
I don't know. It's kind of fun in here.
I've got the psychedelic lights turned on, and I think she's enjoying that.
I am.
So, well, we're definitely going to have you back, Deidre, and you're welcome to go in the booth anytime you want. Hey, folks, remember, Every pet deserves a loving home. Do like I did. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. And no question about it, my friends, we are going to do our best to make a happy camper out of you. We'll catch you next week. Have a great one, everybody. This is Happy Camper Radio.